Hello and welcome to Prime Time. I'm Jonathan and I'm going to give you 3 ways you could add up to 40 points on your credit score. Here's a sneak preview. Lower your credit utilization, make 6 months of on-time payments, and pay off any collections on your credit file. Intrigued? Good, because I'm going to show you some handsome data on how each of these 3 ways could send your score upwards. At the end of the video, I'll help you get specific ideas on how to build your credit based on your specific circumstances. Oh, and we came up with these ideas from looking at millions of real credit files. Seriously, millions. But first, a quick chat about what up to 40 points means. Credit scores are complicated and every situation is different. The final amount added to your score could be a little lower. It could also be a little higher. The numbers aren't exact, only what's reasonable to expect. So let's do a quick legal gut check on all of that before we move on. Legal gut check complete. Let's get right to the nitty-gritty. What's the first way to add up to 40 points to your credit score? Drop your utilization by 30 percentage points. Quick definition. Utilization is the percentage of your revolving credit that you are currently using. It's the balance of your credit card divided by how much you can charge. You've heard the old rule of keeping your utilization under 30%? Turns out it's only a benchmark. And here's why. It doesn't matter if you drop your utilization from 90% to 60% or from 50% to 20%. Wherever you start, you could see a jump in your credit score up to 40 points, possibly a little bit more across the board. Let's dive into a little data and show how this works. The average credit score for people who have a 91 to 100% utilization is 635. The average credit score for people who have an 81 to 90% utilization is 654. For 71 to 80%, it's 667. Are you starting to see the pattern? This should make it clear that whittling down your utilization, no matter where you started out, is a good idea. Now, of course, there are other things going on in these credit scores besides utilization. That's why we remove people with collections or a past due payment. But the trend is the same for those people. The average scores are just different. The starting point is different, but as you can see, the credit score improvement is consistent. The 30% drop in utilization has the same effect. Pretty cool. Now, on to the second thing you can do to improve your credit score by up to 40 points, and that is make 6 months of on-time payments. This is true if you are currently past due. Now, if you haven't missed any payments, this won't work for you in quite the same way, but it's still important to pay your bills, obviously. You're probably thinking it couldn't be that simple, but it is. Falling behind on your payments can really damage your score. On the flip side, making on-time payments consistently can make your score strong. Let's take a look at some data. To eliminate other factors, I have removed people with collections. And since we know that utilization is important, I'm only showing people with a utilization rate between 30% and 70%. And here's another view for people with utilization from 71% to 100%. So you see, where you begin doesn't really matter. You're still going to see that improvement. Making 6 months of on-time payments is a great diet for improving your credit. Yum. Moving on. Third thing you can do to add up to 40 points to your credit score is to pay off any collections on your credit file, no matter how small they are. I bet you're asking yourself, so even a small amount in collections could be costing my score 40 points? And I'm telling you, that's exactly right. You may also ask yourself, how many points will my credit score increase if a collection is deleted? Well, the answer varies. So let's look at the data. As always, we need to remove some of the other factors that influence a credit score. Let's take a look at people with utilization rates between 30 and 70% who are not currently past due. Here is the average credit score for the people who have no active collections on their credit report. This is the average credit score for people who have any outstanding collections on their credit report. But if we split those people with collections into people who have a lot of collections, say over $200, and people who have less than $200, you can see that the averages don't change that much. Getting rid of any collections on your account, no matter how small, that is important to your overall credit health. But hold on. What happens if you drop your utilization and stay current for 6 months and pay off your collections accounts? Can you do all three of them? Let's take a look. Here are people who have an outstanding collection, are currently past due, and have a revolving utilization rate of 40 to 60%. Their average credit score is 581. Now let's take a look at credit reports with all the differences. That is, no collections, current for 7 to 12 months, and a utilization rate of 10 to 30%. Drum roll, please. The average credit score for these people, 709. Time for a quick recap. Lower your credit utilization. Make 6 months of on-time payments. Pay off any collections on your credit file. While each of these three things alone could help you move into a better credit bracket, doing all of them might really move things. One last thing for those of you who've watched this far. If you're looking for a more personalized way to discover how to add some of those oh so precious points to your credit score, check out the Score40 Quiz at elevate.com. It's a quick Q&A that will give you simple steps to help you raise your credit score based on your specific situation. It's free, it's simple, and it's fast. I'll include a link in the description. I'm Jonathan. Thanks for tuning into Primetime. If you have any credit-related questions that you want us to tackle in a future video, post them in the comments below, and we'll see you next time.